Hello guys, I'm back. It's been a while. I've missed doing this. I'm not going to spend time telling you where I've been, what I've been doing, or what's been going on, but yeah, I'm just going to jump straight in and talk to you guys about the New Age movement because I've never actually spoken to you about it before. I used to be a bit New Agey myself, and even when I was New Agey, I was in denial that I was a New Ager because I thought because I wasn't buying into the channelings and the ascended masters and all that BS, and I could see it was a religion. I thought I wasn't a New Ager, but I was still sort of entertaining their philosophy on a lot of things. And at that point in time, even though it felt really uncomfortable, I was kind of trying to force myself to believe these things. And the thing is, with all religions, like with the New Age religions, there is truth in there, but it's often distorted and mixed in with a lot of BS. And I've spoken about some of the New Age philosophy that I disagree with without actually mentioning the New Age, such as ego. They're all like, oh, ego is bad, ego is wrong, do away with ego entirely. But as I've always said, ego is a useful tool. It's there for a reason. It's there because it's necessary in this 3D experience, in this physical experience. We need it. It just has to be part of the crew, not in the captain's seat, I heard of, I think it was a Buddhist monk who actually managed to free himself entirely of ego, and he just let himself die. He didn't eat, he didn't drink, he didn't do anything. He just died. Well, fat lot of good that did, huh? And that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to learn how to let ourselves die. And ironically, they preach against ego, and yet some of their beliefs, for me, are ego-based. But I'll come on to that later. And the same goes for fear. They say fear is the opposite of love. But quite frankly, a lot of their beliefs and attitudes are, again, fear-based. But then again, fear and ego are intricately linked. And that leads me on to their solipsistic beliefs. Not pure solipsism, perhaps, because pure solipsism would mean that they didn't even believe that anybody else existed. But because it's not pure, it's contradictory. And the fact that this solipsistic belief of my truth, your truth, there is no real truth. It's just perception. We all create our own reality, and that's it. And that, if you're suffering, it's because you've created that, you've wanted that, you've agreed to that, you've come here to do that, to suffer. And so they're not doing anything about it, really. They're just sitting around meditating and visualizing and raising their own vibrations, turning a blind eye to negativity. Oh, mustn't look at negativity. Oh, no. It's going to make it worse. It'll all go away if we just ignore it. All this is very fear, ego-based for me. That's what I see in all of this. And if you can't, you might as well just go away and stop watching any of my videos, because there's no point in even talking to you if you can't see that. And they're in denial. They say they're not solipsists. Well, not perhaps 100%, but, to a certain degree, yes, because, the very fact that they're saying that there is no such thing as subjective truth. And if you try and tell them that's wrong, they'll just say, oh, well, that's your truth. Well, I'm sorry, but truth is subjective by its very nature. It exists regardless of what anybody thinks. If anybody believes it or not, it's still the truth. They're admitting that I exist. That is the truth. Whether they believe it or not, I still exist. There are people who don't even know I exist or don't believe I exist. Perhaps, I don't know. But I still exist. And, natural law and the laws of nature, gravity will still exist whether you believe in it or not. And the same goes for natural law, the way it works. And turning a blind eye to negativity won't make it go away. and meditating and trying to manifest via just meditating and visualizing and raising vibrations, that isn't going to actually affect things really. What it takes is action. The divine masculine. To get up and go and really do something. Rather than just sitting there going, oh, you know, all blissed out and, you know, everything's fine. You know, it's I'm not going to rant too much. But the thing is, action, thought is powerful. Visualization, that's a great thing. Because everything that anybody ever did started off as a thought. But it took action to actually manifest it into this reality. Because that is the way that this world works. That is natural law. That is the true law of attraction. And if you like to see it this way, it's just your action is confirming to the universe that you actually do want that. That is, you know, because otherwise you can imagine, you know, my friend said to me the other day, oh, be careful, don't think of elephants too much, otherwise there could be an elephant that turns up in your flat. But, you know, it's that crazy, and they don't see it that way. They are just so... And what's keeping them in that? Again, I will say it again, it's fear, because they don't want to face up to true responsibility. I liked the New Age philosophy, and I wanted to believe it, even though I couldn't bring myself to, because it was comforting to know that I didn't have to take responsibility. I mean, you've got the ones that are full-blown New Agers that think that ETs are going to come and save our sorry asses, and then you've got other people who don't believe in that, but think that we can manifest it into being, and that, you know, I don't even understand them anymore because they're so contradictory in their beliefs. You know, my truth, I own this truth. This is mine. It's your belief. It's not a truth, for one thing. But, you know, don't you think that's a little egotistical? And, you know, I've come to learn something recently that I think was one of the last little New Age bits of me that just kind of like went away, kind of just dissolved, when I realised that when you're stating truth, there is nothing egotistical in truth. By saying this is it, I'm right, you're wrong, because this is the truth and you're not getting it. That is not anything to do with ego. I'm not doing it because it makes me feel good. I'm doing it because I'm right. And when you have truth on your side like that, it's not ego. So you are allowed to say to people, you're wrong, without, and I'm right, without being egotistical. You see, another thing that these people lack is critical thinking. I said to a guy that was a New Ager, because I accused him of being a solipsist, and because he denied the existence of subjective truth, he says that truth is objective, which is absolute nonsense, a contradiction. As I said just now, it's belief. That's not truth, it's belief. And however much you believe something to be true, if it isn't the truth, it's not going to be true. And I said to him, have you taken a look at the Trivium and the Quadrivium? Try and get some critical thinking going on. And he said, oh yeah, I've been through that, you know it inside out. And it's like, excuse me, if you'd studied those things, if you were capable of critical thinking, really, you wouldn't be saying that the truth wouldn't exist. How could you do that? I mean, critical thinking and sifting through the BS to try and get to truth, if you don't think truth exists, if you only think everything's just beliefs and perspective and perception and it's all an illusion, and, you know, why would you go to the effort of looking into it if you didn't even think truth existed? Absolute madness, these people. I mean, Mark Passio says that these people are mentally ill, and I have to agree with him. I thought he was being harsh, but having spoken to these people, you think, God, they're constantly contradicting themselves, and then they're projecting their shortcomings and their flaws onto other people, talking about the ego, for example. When you're talking about, here's the truth, this is absolutely true, this thing, and they're like, oh, well, that's egotistical, you know. and you're preaching and all that sort of stuff and condescending and no, but yeah. So I've managed to keep it brief. I probably missed out a ton of things I wanted to say about New Age, but yeah, I mean, it is a catch-all, and it's there to pick up all the people who are dissatisfied or feel let down by traditional religion, but still seek spirituality. And going back to Mark Passio, who says that the New Age has more or less hijacked a great number of souls who incarnated here at this time to help with the slave rebellion and bring about freedom and harmony on the planet. And they've got caught up in this New Age religion, and I think he could be right. I can't say for sure, but he could be right. But yeah, so the New Age is it's a major obstacle. It is a major obstacle, and at the same time, these people, they're good people. Can't help but feel a little bit sorry for them and frustrated, and thank goodness, because the whole solipsistic nature of this, it's such a trap, when you say this is the truth and they go, well, that's your truth. No, it's not the truth. It's, my truth is that there is no truth, and your truth is that there is truth. I mean, it's just but anyway, all we can do is try, and I just thought we should be talking about this kind of thing, because it is one of the major obstacles between us and finding a positive outcome to everything that's going on at the moment. So anyway, it's great to be back, guys. I love you very much, and I shall speak to you soon.